Hello everybody. It's been a while since we've done a book report video, and I've got three great books here to talk about. These were some of the books that our friend Kevin rescued the other day from the trash, and these are from the 1980s. The Best of Woodsmoke, Mountain Man Crafts and Skills, and then a really cool little book, little paperback book, Outdoorsmen's Handbook. So we're going to take a look at these books today, and I think you probably could find these, you know, in a used bookstore or maybe on the internet, and there is a ton of information in these books that's still very valuable and useful today. Let's start out with a look at the Mountain Man Crafts and Skills book. Mountain Man Crafts and Skills, an illustrated guide to clothing, shelter, equipment, and wilderness living. That was written by David Montgomery back, I believe, in the early 1980s. Let's take a quick look at the table of contents on here. And first off, looks like it's about 235 pages, so there's a lot of information in this book. We've got a chapter on the Mountain Man tools and materials, a chapter on traps and trapping, buckskin and fur hide tanning, making Mountain Man clothing, rifles, knives, and throwing axe, Mountain Man hats, homemade knife, powder flask and horns, scrimshaw, deer and cow horn uses, pouches, scabbards, beadwork, quill work, fire making, the teepee, baker's tent and snow cave, willow backrest chair, a trade box, a grub box, eating utensils and cookware, Mountain Man foods. Here's a chapter on rendezvous time, Mountain Man stories. Wow, there is a ton in this this old book here. All kinds of illustrations, all kinds of cool information. If somebody was just starting out, this would be a great book. And even for some of you old graybeards that have been at this for a long time, I'm sure you'll find some information in this old classic here that would be helpful. All kinds of stuff in here. What a treasure this book is. Quill work here, and fire making. You name it, it's in this book. There's a little bit on the back page about the author. So very cool. The book is Mountain Man Crafts and Skills. The Best of Woodsmoke. The Best of Woodsmoke, a manual of primitive outdoor skills. It's compiled by Richard L. Jameson. This is another book I believe dates back to the 1980s. Yeah, 1982. And here's a list of all the authors in here. You got Ron Gustafson, Cecil Hamilton, Paul Helwig, Linda Jameson, Richard Jameson, Larry Dean Olson, Jim Riggs, Max Smith, Larry Wells, Ernest Wilkinson, and Gary Wisdom. So there's a whole bunch of people that contributed to this book. And here's a sample from the contents page. The use of pitch. Got a shelter chapter here. About another chapter about water. Surviving solo. Looks like a chapter on sharpening a knife, one on surviving a blizzard with only a blanket, surviving winter hazards, nature's yeast, a hot coal bed, deadfall trapping, a soft bed in the woods, the stone axe, primitive fishing. That looks like an interesting chapter. I'll have to check that one out. The art of making arrowheads, troubleshooting the bow and drill fires, a primitive hand fire drill. A deer is more than venison for the table. Got all kinds of uses for the deer other than the meat. Wilderness cordage, surviving mentally, and the basics of keeping warm. And it looks like it's about 156 pages. Got all kinds of cool pictures in here. Again, a ton of information here in this classic book. The Outdoorsman's Handbook. The last book in this trio of great reads is The Outdoorsman's Handbook. It looks like it was written by Clyde Ormond, and tells a little bit about Clyde there. Again, this book dates back to 1974, so this is even a little older than the other two books. And let's take a look at the contents. We've got a book content chapter on hunting, fishing, camping, cooking, hiking and backpacking, photography, horses and horse gear, and miscellaneous how-tos. So again, this is another great book. There's some illustrations in it. There's some drawings. Very, very cool book. Here's a chapter on making arrowheads, stone arrowheads. Here's one on fishing lures. You name it, it's in this book. What a great read. Here's a chapter on camping and sharpening knives and all sorts of stuff. So that's the last in the trio of great books that we just picked up recently. There you have it, some good summertime reading if you can find these books. I'd like to thank Kevin for gifting them to me. Thanks a lot, Kevin. And what a shame that somebody would throw these great books out, but that's a sign of the times. So until next time, everybody, take care. Thanks for watching, and remember, keep on trucking.